So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the median, and one of the questions we are going to be using to kickstarting the concept of the median is this question we have right here. And just like its name, the median is simply the middle value we have in our data set. So our question says that Michael is interested in knowing how much his friend spends on average in a day. He decides to ask each of them how much they spend and gets the following data. So we have $12, we have $15, down to $15. So we are supposed to find the median amount of money spent in a day. And how do we get the median of this type of data set? We have three steps to follow. Number one is to actually arrange our data in ascending order. By ascending order, I mean from the lowest to the highest. So we can see that we have 10, so we have $10 right here. We have $11 next. We have $12 next. We have $13. We also have $14. We have $15. $15 occurred twice. We also have $15 right here, and then we have $17. So this is our data set extracted out and written out in the ascending order. So the next step is for us to eliminate data points or the variables from opposite end to reveal the last standing data. So that means we are going to be saying if 10 goes out, 17 is going to go out. If 11 goes out, 15 is going to go out. If 12 goes out, 15 is going to go out. And as you can see, we have two variables as our last standing data set, that is 13 and 14. So how do we get the median? We just have to take the average of 13 and 14. So that simply implies that 13 plus 14 divided by 2, and that is going to give us 27 divided by 2. And when we use our calculator to work on that, we have our answer to be equals to 13.5. So the median value of this data set of ours is actually equals to 13.5. So let's move to how we can get the median of our data sets when we have a frequency distribution. So our question says that in a class, a midterm test was conducted and the result of the test is given below. So we have our data sets from 11, 17, 12, 15, 10 down to 20. So the question now says we should construct a frequency table for this data set and find the midterm score value. So the first step is for us to construct a frequency table for our data sets before we can be able to get the median. So let's try to do that. So I'm going to be drawing the horizontal line right here, and then we have our vertical line right here. So we have x, which represents the variable of interest, and the x of ours right here is actually the mean term, the test score rather. Then we have the frequency. So we have 10, we have 11, we have 12, we have 13, we have 14, we have 15, we have 16, we have 17, we have 18, we have 19, and we have 20. So these are the values of the test score that we have. So we ask ourselves the question, how many times does 10 occurs in this data set? 10 occurred 3 times. How many times does 11 occur? 11 occurred 4 times. How many times does 12 occurs? 12 occurred just 1 time. 13 occurred 4 times. 14 occurred 1 time. 15 occurred 5 times. 16 occurred 1 time. 17 occurred 2 times. 18 occurred 3 times. 19 occurred 2 times, and 20 occurred 3 times. So whenever we have a frequency distribution for our data sets, the formula for getting the median is going to be that it has 2 variations actually. So we have that the sign for the median, which is L, is equals to summation F divided by 2. So this actually gives us the position of the median and not the median itself. So we actually use this variation when we have even number of data sets, and we use this variation L is equals to summation F plus 1 divided by 2. So this is the other variation, and we use this variation when we have odd number of data sets. So let's try to get the number of data sets we have. So that means if we count our data sets, we are going to be noticing that we have 29 values right here. So that means we have odd number of data sets, so meaning we are going to be using these variants to get our median. So the formula is going to be L is equals to summation F is going to be 29 plus 1 divided by 2, and that is going to be 30 divided by 2, which gives us 15. So that simply implies that our median is actually located in the 15th position. That is, the value of the median is not 15, but the median is located in the 15th position. So we have to come to the frequency and locate the 15th position's value. So the 15th position's variable rather. So we say 3 plus 4, that gives us 7. 7 plus 1, that gives us 8. 8 plus 4, that gives us 12. 12 plus 1, that gives us 13. And 13 plus 5, that gives us 18. So definitely the 15th position data is going to be around here. So that is the one attached to frequency of 5. So that means our median is going to be equals to 15. That is our median. Let's write it out. Our median is actually equals to 15. So it's time for us to get the median of our data sets when we actually group this data set based on class. So this question of ours says that the management of a gym is interested in knowing the age distribution of people that visits the gym. So for this, the management decides to look into the ages of people who registered for the next 6 months. So below is a frequency distribution of the age. So we are supposed to find the median age value for this distribution. So right here we have our data set in a grouped manner, and I can also say it is actually our data set grouped based on class, because 15 to 20 is a class, 21 to 26 is a class, and then down to 45 to 50. So we are having 6 classes right here. So each of these classes have values, the upper limit and the lower limit. So 15, 21, 27, 33, 39, 45 are actually lower class limits, and 20, 26, 32, 38, 44, 50 are actually upper class limits. So what I'm going to do is to reconstruct the frequency distribution table that was given to us. So we have the horizontal line, and it's going to be a long one. So we have the vertical line right here. So we have one of this, we have this, we have another one. So we can just draw it. Then we have another one right here, and we have another one. I think this should be enough, but if there's a need for us to get more, we're going to do that. So let's try to extract out the age and the frequency quickly. So we have our X, which represents age, and we have the frequency. So it's time for us to get the formula for the median when our data set is grouped based on class, or when we have a grouped data. So I'm going to write the formula somewhere around here. So let's just take this up a bit. So the formula for the median, L, is going to be equals to the lower class boundary plus, so we're going to be having what we call the summation F divided by 2 minus, we have what we call the cumulative frequency before the median, divided by the frequency at the median into bracket, then we have times the class interval. So we can notice that we have a few new details right here. The LCB represents the lower class boundary at the median, the FM represents the frequency at the median, the C represents the class interval, the CFBM represents the cumulative frequency before the median, and the summation F divided by 2 represents the mini median. That is, this is the first step we are going to work with. So we have to get the class boundaries, and we have to work on the cumulative frequency. So I'm going to call this the cumulative frequency, and then I'm going to call this the class boundaries. So the first step is for us to get the cumulative frequency, and as the name implies, the cumulative frequency is actually the sum of frequency. For the first class, which is 15 to 20, the frequency is 15. So most times we actually repeat the frequency back. So we have here to be 15, and the next class is 21 to 26. So we have the frequency to be 12. So we are going to be summing the frequency at 12 and the frequency before 12, and that is going to be 12 plus 15. That gives us 27. So at the third class, which is at 27 to 32, we have the frequency at this class to be 7. So we're going to be summing the frequency at this class and the sum of and the frequencies before it. So that's going to be 7 plus 12 plus 15, and that is going to be equals to 34. Okay, so the next class is 33 to 38, and we're going to be summing the frequencies 18 plus 7 plus 12 plus 15. So let's do the math. So 15 plus 12 plus 7 plus 18, that gives us 52. So we have this to be equals to 52. So for the next class, we have 39 to 44. So that means we are summing from 9 upwards. So that's 9 plus 18 plus 7 plus 12 plus 15. And that gives us 61. And the last class is going to be 6 plus 9 plus 18 plus 7 plus 12 plus 5. And we have our answer to be equals to 67. So this is the cumulative frequency. So for the class boundaries, all we have to do is to deduct 0.5 from the lower class and add the 0.5 to the upper class. So that means 15 minus 0.5, that gives us 14.5, and 20 plus 0.5, that gives us 20.5. So we also deduct 0.5 from 21. So 21 minus 0.5, that gives us 20.5, and 26 plus 0.5, that gives us 26.5. The next thing is 27 minus 0.5, that gives us 26.5. So 32 plus 0.5, that gives us 32.5, and we do the rest till we get to the last class. So we have so the next step is for us to get the class interval, and the class interval is simply the difference between the lower class limit and the upper class limit of a specific class. So for example, 15 to 20 is a class, so 20 minus 15, that gives us 5. 26 minus 21, that gives us 5 also. 32 minus 27, that gives us 5. So that simply implies that the class interval is usually a fixed value all through the data set. So that means our class interval is actually equals to 5, so we can keep that somewhere here. We can say our class interval is equals to 5. So we have a lot of class boundaries. We have 6 class boundaries, and we have 6 cumulative frequencies. So we need to get our median first. So that means that we need to work on the summation f divided by 2. So that is the first step to getting the median of this kind of distribution. So let's work on summation f over 2. So summation f over 2, so the sum of frequencies is going to be equals to 15 plus 12 plus 7 plus 18 plus 9 plus 6, and that is going to give us 67 divided by 2. So when I use my calculator to work on 67 divided by 2, so 67 divided by 2, that gives us 33.5, which is approximately equals to 34. So that simply implies that the median is located in the 34th position. So let's come to the 34th position. So 15 plus 12, that gives us 27. 27 plus 7, that gives us 34. So that means the 34th position is somewhere around here. So I'm going to be using this red marker to mark that. So that means our median is located right here. So the first detail we need is the LCBM, and that is the lower class boundary at the median. So the lower class boundary at the median is 26.5. So we can write that here. Let's just say the lower class boundary at the median is actually equals to 26.5. All right, so our summation f divided by 2 is actually equals to 33.5. So the next is the cumulative frequency before the median. So the cumulative frequency at the median is actually 34. So the cumulative frequency before the median is actually 27. So the cumulative frequency before the median is equals to 27. The frequency at the median is actually equals to 7. And then the class interval is equals to 5 exactly. So it's time for us to substitute all of this into the formula. Let's take this up a bit. So L is equals to, okay, so we have 26.5 plus, we have this to be 33.5 minus the cumulative frequency before the median is 27 divided by 7 times 5 exactly. So we have this to be 26.5 plus. So let's work on everything we have in the bracket. So that is 33.5 minus 27 divided by 7, and that gives us 0.9286 times 5. So we have this to be equals to 26.5 plus. So let's multiply this with 5, and we have our answer to be 4.64 approximated to 2 decimal place. So the final answer is that our L is equals to 4.64 plus 26.5, and that gives us 31.14. So the median age for this data set of ours is actually equals to 31.14 years. So if you actually learned something or you gained something from this class, I would really appreciate if you can subscribe to this YouTube channel and also like the video, then also share it among your friends. You can also switch on your notifications so that you can get notified when I release new videos, which I do at least 2 times a week. Thanks for making it to the end of this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.